In week 2, assignment 1, your group composition. Alright, so you had found the assignment, and you had your boyfriend, sister, and brother-in-law help. Choose an image of each one of you posing like you're flexing your so-called muscles. In high school, I used the lasso tool a lot and I was familiar with it. So I first used a magnetic lasso tool to get around the edges as best as I could. After each one was selected, transfer them over into a blank image, arrange each of us in the right located. All right, so yeah, let's take a look at your critique image here. So we start off with the background. Then we start adding in people. So we have the looking down flexor, the dual muscle flexor. We have the power flexor, and then another power flexor. Okay, so a way to look and see how clean these selections actually are is I'm going to leave one on and then turn off the background image. So here we can then zoom in. It's this one, yes. All right, and let me reduce that and pull up my tool here. And when we zoom in, we can see, yeah, it's pretty clean. We can clean it up just a little bit, like this little pointy thing going on here and here. So that's a really easy way to see how clean the selections really are, is to turn off everything except for one layer, and then it shows you exactly what's going on. So then we can go in and turn on the other layer. Again, I have to then zoom back out. Kind of walk over here and see, we can clean up like right in there and right in there. But all in all, I think the layers are looking pretty good for who knows how many times you may have done this. I always assume, best intent, assume that it hasn't been done before. So let me turn back on all the layers. We'll talk about the rest of the image. I think there's one major thing that we can work on to really improve this, and it's something to do while you're actually photographing initially, and that is to use a custom white balance. We can kind of see how everything has this kind of yellowish funk to it, and by doing the custom white balance, it's going to look nice and bright and clean, and all the skin tones and everything are going to match very nicely. So I think that's my one big thing, is I would say in the future, is especially indoors at night, is always remember to do that custom white balance, because there's so many different kinds of lights. I mean, these two bulbs themselves could be a completely different white balance due to maybe this one is newer and this one is much older, or vice versa, or what have you. But something like that is really the way to go in shooting inside or even outside at night, is doing that custom white balance. Let's take a look at your contact sheets. So we've got all the required metadata, file name, and number, date, exposure. Yeah, exactly. All the required types of metadata. So I love how we're hamming it up. We're letting personality show through rather than just kind of sitting there and just staring at the camera. We're really we're letting personalities come shining through, and I think that always makes for an assignment that becomes a lot more fun as you're working on it. So all in all, good job. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate in shooting me an email. All right, Susan, week 2, assignment 1, your group composition. So group composite, I should say. This assignment, you like to use photos of your brother and sister along with various poses of yourself. Would love to allow more room for the background. However, I was braced against the back wall and attempt to take the full-length photos. Needless to say, my studio is big enough for full-length photos or multiple people. Let's see here. I know that there's a drop-down somewhere that allows me the opportunity to cut inside the outline of the models in order to get the smooth edge. But as much as I tried, I couldn't find it. Therefore, as your homework, I will continue the search. So starting the base photo of your sister and brother, first use the magnetic and polygon lasso tools to copy and create a cover layer. Further refine the edges using your Refine Edge button. Okay, excellent. All right, so let's take a look at your finished product, your critique image here. And we have, I'm actually going to turn off everything first. Okay, so here we have the base image of sister and brother-in-law. So you add yourself in once, add yourself in twice, then add him back in. and then you add a vignette to try and make everything a little more almost romantic, if you will. So the easiest way to check out how well a selection has worked is we are going to turn off everything except the one layer. And we can see very, very clean here on Mitch. Let's try the first one of you. And again, very clean. Second one, yep. And then we have the base image, which of course is just shot the way it is. So then we add everything back in, and yeah, it all definitely looks very clean, very professional. I think he did a great job. So lighting matches, works very well. Let's take a look at your contact sheets. So there's the first image. Okay, so yeah, we're doing it all against a black background, and that makes it a lot easier then to place things and to make the selection. The exception of usually hair. I found hair is very difficult unless you're like myself or Mitch here, and you have very closely cut hair or none at all. Usually it's the ladies who have like the very frizzy kind of wild hair that can get out of control and be very hard to isolate. But in this instance, it doesn't look like that happened whatsoever. So yeah. So all in all, I think you did a really good job. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to shoot me an email.